So this week's movie review is one of two big opening titles this week, and of course this week we are talking about Noah. Now Noah, I'm pretty sure we've all heard the story of Noah. We've all heard the story about Noah and the Ark. So basically there's not a whole lot of plot exposition that I need to go into. I will say this film has been very controversial in the fact that biblical purists have really come out and said this is a terrible film because it doesn't follow the source material very closely. However, what you have to understand is that if it's a movie, odds are it probably is not going to follow everything exactly, and movies are meant to be a source of entertainment, and they're meant to draw you in and entertain you for a while. And so when you do that, what you have to understand is that there's going to have to be changes, because if we just heard the same story of the Noah's Ark for 2.5 hours, odds are it's not going to be a very great movie. We're not going to be as entertained as something like this. Going into this film, because I do have a Christian background, I knew exactly what I was getting into, and I have to say this is actually a very well done adaptation. I had a lot of fun with this film. There's so much to enjoy about this film. Matter of fact, it's probably one of, if not the best film I've seen all year. Granted, I know we're still in the early part of the year. It's the end of March. We have other stuff coming out, but this is honestly one of the best films I've seen so far this year. Darren Aronofsky's direction with this movie is very, very beautiful, and I really like how he directs. I think I've only ever seen like one other Darren Aronofsky film. I haven't seen too much of his work, but I was really impressed by this movie. His direction was very strong, and every shot he knew exactly where he wanted to place that camera, the exact angle at which he wanted it. And I love when a director knows what he wants to do with a film. I love when he knows where he wants to put the camera, what kind of shot he wants. And he really knows how to play up, certain moments. He really knows how to build up the tension and the overall just tenseness that you feel with this film. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about this film. It's very, very tense. There's not this, we all have this sense that, not everything's going to be okay in this film, and that, basically the end is coming. This film is very, very tense, and the tenseness really plays up after the flood has come. And that's actually one of my favorite things about this movie, is after the flood has come, when we see this whole new side of Noah that we haven't heard about. The fact that, he's a man, he's basically trying to stand by his convictions, and he's going to do whatever he can to stand by them. And those scenes for me really just kind of add a new depth to the character that we don't really understand. And it's one of the best entire sequences of the entire film to see Noah just kind of really go off the deep end, because he really does. And Russell Crowe as Noah, I believe that Russell Crowe was the perfect casting for this. This is easily one of the best performances I've seen him give in quite a while. He blew me away as this character. He really embodied this character, to the point where every single thing he was doing, even his facial expressions, really brought out the true acting skill that Russell Crowe has. When he's given a role like this, he can really excel. He can really perform. Jennifer Connelly plays his wife, and she gives one of the most emotional performances I've seen in quite a while. She is a very emotional person. Whenever she cries, you feel like you're crying with her. She has that ability to just bring out that emotion in you. Whenever you see her on screen, you really feel for her. You really get into this character. You dive deep with this character. And it's awesome to see, these two, Russell Crowe and Jennifer Connelly, kind of bounce off of each other. And it's great to see them working together. Ray Winstone as the villain in this, I think he did an amazing job. He was a brilliant antagonist to this whole storyline. He really brought out this sense of evil in this. And one of the things that I really liked about Aronofsky's direction with this, and some of the scenes that he shot, there's this one scene where you really see why God is so ticked off at men, and you really look to yourself and you say, alright, maybe these people do need to die, because these people are just evil, man. I mean, like, straight up just pure and evil, and Winstone is like the embodiment of that. He's really one of these guys who he believes that, men can really stand for themselves, they can make it their own way, they can do whatever they can to survive. He's a brilliant addition to this movie, he's a brilliant antagonist, and I think he was perfect for this role. And then, of course, you have Emma Watson. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of my system. Emma Watson is gorgeous, okay? If I am some young, horny teenager back when the Ark is being built, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my butt on that boat so that way me and her can restart humanity. I'm probably going to go to hell for that joke now. Maybe I should pray for forgiveness tonight. You think so? Yeah, maybe, just to be safe. But Emma Watson in this film is absolutely incredible. When I said that, when I said Jennifer Connelly, whenever she, portrays that emotion and you feel with her, Watson does that same exact thing, and you feel so much for this character. And like I said, there are scenes like, after the flood has come, where you just, you see this whole new different side of Noah, and you really sense the fear in Emma Watson's character, because this kind of whole backstory, after the flood happens, involves her. And like I said, it was easily one of my favorite things about this whole movie was to see this, this whole change in this group of characters that doesn't really come along in the biblical text. And I think Emma Watson did a great job in this movie. She definitely sold her performance really well. She's definitely one of my favorite actresses of today. She really knows how to give a good performance, and I really enjoyed her in this film. As far as negatives go, I really don't have any. The one thing I forgot to mention was the CGI is actually very well done, but there is some spots where it's kind of troubling, especially with some of the animals. And there's also a couple of smaller human beings. I'm gonna try and not spoil anything as best I can. But there's these small human beings that they kind of look off of me. My friend said they were CGI, and I think they may have well been, and they just looked very cartoonish. And some of the animals looked cartoonish, so they could have tightened up the CGI just a little bit, and you've got basically a perfect film. But overall, I had a great time with Noah, and like I said, it's easily one of the best films that I've seen so far this year. Now, is this film for everyone? If you're like a religious purist and you really want to see a word for basically a word for word depiction of the biblical text, you're probably going to want to stay away from this film. There's so much to this film that is completely different. For example, like stuff with the Watchers, which I thought was a cool addition to the film. You're going to be very turned off by that. It's going to seem almost Lord of the Rings-like, especially with the Watchers. But for everyone else, I would actually highly recommend that you go see Noah. It's a very well done film. The acting is great. The direction of Darren Aronofsky is actually well done. The score is also brilliant. I forgot to mention that. I really like the score in this film too. The whole cast does an excellent job. The story is very well done. The Watchers are cool as heck. The CGI for the animals and for the smaller human being people could have been a little bit better, but I can't really, degrade the whole entire movie just for that one small thing. So in the end, I'm actually going to give Noah an A-. I think this film is very well done. It's probably, like I said, it's one of the best films that I've seen so far this year. But then again, like I said, I know we're right here at the tail end of March. We've got a long way to go. Captain America comes out next week, and I have heard nothing but great stuff about that film. I am highly anticipating that film. I cannot wait. So that is my review of Noah, and as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys think about the movie, if you've seen it or not. Be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe for more content to come if you have not yet already. I've got more stuff coming along the way. As always, guys, I'm Joker777, and I'll see you guys later.